Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of BSing Sports here on the BSing Network, where we do a little BS and we talk a whole lot of sports. I'm Bill. With me, as always, for our prediction show on Saturdays are Jake and Ryan. How you guys doing?
Good.
Good. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. We've already
How are
had
you?
4 games go off. Good. We've already had 4 games go off. The Lions, Cowboys, Niners, and Dolphins were all victorious. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The Lions did not win. The Packers won. The Cowboys, 49ers, and Dolphins were all victorious. So for those of you who have been following along, our gentleman bet is still going. Ryan is in first place even after his worst week of the year at 262 and 118. I am in second place at 255 and 225. Tim is in third place at
218.
Okay, I thought that looked weird. Tim is in third place at 254 and 226, and Jake is in last at 250 and 229. Jake's gonna have to start taking some gambles.
Nah, still plenty of games. Only 4 or 5 games back.
You're 4 games back on Tim, 5 on me, 12 on Ryan.
I'm not worried about Ryan. I just can't come in last.
That's right. That's all I'm worried about is not finishing last. All right. So let's get into it. You guys know how this goes.
Loser mentality over there.
Jake. We'll go Jake, Ryan, Bill tonight, and we'll start with Jake. Sorry, I'm doing the document as we speak. Perfect. All right, first game on Sunday anyway. Like I said, 4 have already been played. We've got the Steelers at 6-4 visiting the Bengals at 5-5. The Joe Burrow-less Bengals at 5-5. The Steelers are favored at plus 1.5. Over-under is 35.5 points. Jake, start us off, bud.
I got the Steelers winning this game. Jake Browning's coming in, backup quarterback against the Bengals. Steelers have a great defense, and I have Steelers to cover in the. I'm gonna have to go over as much as I don't want to because I figure everybody's gonna go under on this.
Thought you weren't gonna start gambling.
But that's such a low number, 35.5.
That is a really low number, especially in the NFL.
And Steelers fired Matt Canada, so maybe that offense looks like something, or maybe it just is a terrible offense. We're going to find out.
Before Ryan gives his picks, we got a couple of comments here. Tim says he's feeding his son, but he's watching. He says, have a good show. Tim also took the Steelers to cover and the under, and Ken Brandt says the Steelers and the under. He also told you to shave, but, you get past that one, right? Ryan, go ahead with your pick, bud.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take the Steelers here as well. They just find ways to win games. Honestly, I don't really know how they're doing it because they're not doing it with fantastic offense. But firing Matt Canada, like Jake referenced, should, hopefully get them going in the right direction a little bit. The running backs coach, I believe, is taking over the offensive play calling duties. So maybe we'll see a lot of Jaylen Warren and Najee Harris. Who knows? But there's also some tension in that locker room. I read the report earlier from ESPN that said Minka Fitzpatrick and Deontay Johnson had to be split up in the locker room after the game on Sunday. So, the Steelers got a little bit of fight left in them. I think they take this one. I'm just not very confident in the Bengals until I see Jake Browning in a start. I'm obviously going to take them to cover, and I'm actually going to go the under, though. I am going to go the under. It's going to be a real low-scoring game.
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Steelers in this one. We just don't know what Jake Browning is in that offense for the Bengals, so all 4 of us are going to have the Steelers here also to cover, so those are pretty much washes, except I'm also going to take the under here. Really, really good Steelers defense that can't put up points. Bengals offense that we haven't seen with a new quarterback, I don't think it gets over the 35.5 points. So I'm thinking like a 13-6 game in that realm, like ugly win for the Steelers yet again. Next, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars at 7-3, visiting the Houston Texans at a surprising 6-4. 2.5-point favorites are the Jaguars, over under 48.5. This is a divisional game, and the Texans have won, I think, 11 of the last 12 of these matchups. Ryan goes first.
I'm actually taking the Texans here. I have put my money on the Texans. I've put money on CJ Stroud to throw 2 touchdowns and win. I have the Texans covering or going outright. And, I think it's actually kind of criminal that they're underdogs at home, especially the way they've been playing. I just think that they've been more consistent than the Jags. The Jags tend to go a little high, a little low here. So I'm going to take the Texans here in what on paper is to be an upset. And I'm taking the over. I'm looking for a shootout here.
I'm going to copy and paste Ryan's answer. I do still think the Jaguars are the division winners there. However, I don't know. Something about that Texans team right now is really exciting. I mean, I know what it is. CJ Stroud is really exciting. Tank Dell. I think they get what's his face back this weekend too, right?
Noah Brown's out.
Is he? Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
But still, Nico Collins is still playing at a pretty decent level. And then again, Tank Dell. And they figured something out with the running attack there with Devin Singletary of all people. So yeah, give me the Texans, and I'm also going with the over. Tim took the Jags to cover and the over, and Jake.
Oh, just love hearing Devin Singletary being talked about on this team after my prediction in the preseason. But I got the Jags to win this game. I think they are going to win the division, and I think the Texans aren't ready to play with the big boys, to say the least. I do have this as a barn burner. I don't like either of these defenses to stop one of the offenses. So give me the Jags to cover against the Texans and the over.
I like it. All right. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 4-6, somehow very much in contention for that division still. And the Indianapolis Colts at 5-5. 2.5-point favorites are the Colts at home. I get to go first on this one. I am going to take the Gardner Minshew-led Colts. 2.5. I'll take them. You know what? I'm going to hedge my bet here. I'm going to take them not to cover, but I'm going to go with the under on this one. I don't have any specific reason on why the under, except for the fact that neither of these offenses are super prolific. So yeah, give me the Colts to cover or not to cover and the under, because I want to hedge my bet there. Jake?
Yeah, like you said, the Colts are such an iffy team, but give me the Buccaneers. I think this is a close game. I also have the over on this as well. Gardner Minshew will get the ball spread around, but he is good for a pick or two in a game, and that might be the difference in this game to me. So give me the Bucs.
Tim also took the Bucs in the over, right?
I'm conflicted. I don't know, which team I really want to pick here. I know for a fact I'm taking the under. There was a stat that I read earlier in the week that said the Bucs are 8-2 in over-unders as far as going under in their game total. The defense has played pretty well. The offense has kind of been mid at best. And you could honestly say the same thing about the Colts. Offense is kind of mid, defense is whatever. This is going to be just one giant mid-off. That being said, I probably will take the Colts because they're at home, and I'm going to take them to cover just because 2.5 is not a spread. I'm more confident about them covering the spread rather than hedging my bet. And like I said, I'm taking the under. That'd be my lock of the week. Is this game goes under.
I like it. The True Six King says they're both trash teams likely to get a maximum 10 points each. Colts got it. Timmy for the Jaguars game says, I think the Jags want revenge after a few weeks ago getting blown out. And Timmy also wants to say Raiders suck for a Raiders fan in the chat. I guess that's the True Six King.
Yeah, no, he's from Las Vegas, so yeah, that checks out.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, moving to the next game of the week. We got the Saints at 5-5 visiting the Falcons. Again, divisional game, 4-6. Falcons somehow still alive in that division. 1.5-point favorites are the Falcons. Is that right?
I changed that. No, I changed that yesterday. The Saints are favored
by 1.5.
Yeah.
Okay. Saints are favored by 1.5. The over-under is 42.5. Jake, you get first go on this one as I fix the document and everything.
I appreciate that. If you listened to the podcast yesterday on our sports betting podcast, the Saints are my lock of the week for this game. I have them covering, and I have this game going under. I don't think either offense is going to be able to score that much. The defenses are better than average. So,
All right, Ryan.
I'm also going to take the Saints here. The Falcons are now at a point where they're at an insurmountable one-game deficit in the division, so they're going back to Desmond Ridder. Didn't matter who was at quarterback. I didn't think they were going to catch the Saints. They're just, I mean, we've beaten the Arthur Smith drum over and over and over and over again, so we're not going to go down that path. I just have the Saints to win. I think that they cover, and I think that this game goes over.
Yeah, I somehow am getting like a random shootout here in this game, so I'm also going to go with the over. But I copy and paste, right? I'm thinking the Saints cover this, 1.5 point spread. But I think it goes over 42.5.
Ryan, you're good.
Well, I can't catch him if I keep copy and pasting him.
Yeah, exactly. But you won't be in last, apparently. So,
there's going to be bragging rights for the guy in first. You just know it.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Ryan's having some technical difficulties. We're trying to get squared away. So he will be back on with us in just a moment. There he is.
There he is.
Well, welcome back. You look less glitchy.
You. I always knew you were a power top, Ryan.
I think he might still be a little bit delayed. All right, let's move on to the next game. Even though Ryan is supposed to pick it, if he jumps in here, I got the Patriots at 2-8, visiting the Giants at 3-8. Patriots. Wow. Patriots are favored by 3.5. Over under is 34.5.
I was totally able to move that whole time.
Well, good, because you have first pick on this one.
Last game was a mid-off. This game's a shit-off. I'm gonna take. Yeah, I'm gonna. I got nothing for this game. I really don't. I'm gonna take the Patriots because they're the favorite. I'm gonna take them not to cover because I'm gonna hedge my bet, and I'll take the over because Danny DeVito looked okay against the Commanders. There's my analysis.
Yeah, I don't have a choice but to say the same thing. I think. No, you know what? I think I'm going to take the Giants, but I'm going to take the under. I don't think there's a lot of points scored here. I'm going to take the Giants in the under. Saquon Barkley seemed to bail out Tommy DeVito several times last week, and it seemed really consistent and good. And the Patriots. So here we are, me taking the Giants and the under. Jake.
Damn, I was hoping everybody would take the Patriots.
Timmy already took the Giants.
I'm taking the Giants as well. And I have this game. I want to say under.
Yeah,
I have this game going over.
Game sucks.
Yeah, I have this game going over. Just the Giants put up 31 points against Washington. I know the Patriots defense is better, but the Patriots have no offense. And so I'm just hoping to God they can do something. Like a 28-21 ball game would be awesome.
I'm taking the under because I just again, 17-10. 15-10, something along those lines is what I'm looking at in my head here. And I don't like any of it. So moving on to another terrible pair of teams. The Panthers at 1-9, visiting the Titans at 3-7. 3.5 point favorites for the Titans. Over under is 36.5 points. I get to go first on this one. Titans are a bad team.
How are the Titans, at home, and Vegas is telling us that. Never mind. Go ahead.
Did you misread it? Did I missay it?
No, I didn't misread it. I'm just dumbfounded that the Titans are -3.5 over the Panthers. But
yeah, the Panthers are just not good. I I do kind of feel for Bryce Young. He was drafted into an almost impossible situation there in Carolina. Clearly, there was a better of the two situations, and CJ Stroud went to it. So give me the Titans not to cover 3.5 points. I just don't see it. 3-point win here. Too bad. Just another set of bad games. Man, we got a couple of bad games here. Bad games. Give me the over because somehow both of these teams have been in shootouts this year. Not really sure how they're doing it, but they have been. So give me the Titans not to cover and the over. Jakey Poo. Tim took the Titans to cover and the under.
Yeah, I got the Titans not to cover and the over on this game. I'm just praying to God every game's a shootout, even though most of them are probably going to go under this week, just by the looks of it. And that's why I'm hoping that, Vegas knows what they're doing, wants everybody to bet the unders, and they go over. So not a lot of logic here. I think the Titans run the ball. The Panthers just
can't stop the run.
Panthers.
Yeah. Ryan.
Panthers have the worst run defense in the NFL. I think Will Levis, again, going to put my money where my mouth is because I got Will Levis throwing 2 touchdowns and the Titans winning. So give me the Titans. I'm going to take them not to cover, and I'm taking the over.
Yeah, pretty similar across the board, except Timmy takes them to cover and the under rather than the not to cover and the over. Again, at least this one's a divisional game, Got the Rams at 4-6. Coming off that victory against the Seahawks,
so
though.
At least they have all the shitty teams playing against each other this week instead of just matchups where they would on paper get absolutely dominated.
That's a good point. That's a real good point. But yeah, you get the Rams at 4-6 visiting the Cardinals at 2-9. 1.5 point favorites are the Rams. Over under is 44.5. Jakey Poo goes first.
Yeah, no, I got the Rams winning this game as much as I don't want it. I love Kyler Murray. I have him on my fantasy football team, so I want him to do well. I think he's going to do well. But the Rams beat the Seahawks last week. They do have the bet, like Matthew Stafford. They have Kupp. They have Puka Nacua. And I think they win this game in a shootout. I think the Rams cover, and it goes over.
All right, Timmy took the Cardinals in the over. Ryan?
Oh, man, Jake, I wish I could get $1 every time you said shootout. I'd be calling work tomorrow and telling them to kiss my ass.
That's funny.
I'm also going to take the Rams. I just think that they're the more complete team between the two. Now, the Cardinals are going to make it close. I actually think that that's a very good spread there. But I think the Rams can cover 1.5. I think they can do that. And I will also take the over because both of these offenses are vastly superior to both of these defenses.
Yeah, I expect a pretty big game out of Matthew Stafford here. The Cardinal secondary has been suspect. And then as Jake just alluded to, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. So I got the Rams to cover in the over as well.
Man, we are running through these games.
There was 4 less this week.
There was 4 less, and also these games are not good this week.
The True Six King says, Jakey Poo, every pick, this game will be a shootout / barn burner. You say that because the Broncos were on the receiving end of it. I believe he's referring to 70-0 or 70-20, whatever it was. 70 points. Ryan gets the next game. We've got the Chiefs at 7-3 coming off that loss to the Birds. At the Raiders, 5-6. This is a divisional game. Chiefs are favored by 8.5 points. Over under is 42. Ryan gets to go.
I'm going to take the Chiefs not to cover and the over. Look, I'm going to take the under. I'm going to take the under on 42.5. Look, the Chiefs passing attack has not looked consistent all year. And now they're out, they're absolute superstars, both Kadarius Toney and Mecole Hardman. So we'll have to see more of MVS letting passes go right through his hands at the end zone. It's going to be a disaster for Patrick Mahomes, like literally Walmart cashier type disasters. So I'm going to take the Chiefs because they're just still a better team than the Raiders. They're not covering 8.5. That's a mind-blowing spread, especially on the road. And I'm taking the under.
Yeah, I'm also taking the Chiefs not to cover. However, I do think No, it's an under. I'm going to go with under as well. Obviously, I realize that the
Dude,
Philadelphia
you're
Eagles are a
your own
better
person.
team than I know. I realize the Philadelphia Eagles are a better team than the Raiders, but you're 100% right. The Chiefs are having trouble moving the football, and when their top player is clearly aging, he has declined significantly. Talking about Travis Kelce here, it's a problem, and the Chiefs are like the blueprint proof of if you don't put at least a mediocre receiver on the field, Patrick Mahomes can only do so much. So I think it's a not cover here, and I also think it's going to be on the underside. Timmy takes the Chiefs to cover in the over. Jakey Poo.
It really sucks seeing this because literally Mahomes puts the ball in their hands and they just drop it. So it's rough to watch. The True Six King says put Jimmy in and he can take Mahomes. This will be an absolute upset. That's a bold take, my friend. But I have the Chiefs. I actually do think they do not cover. I think this game is close. It's a division rivalry, and I have the over in this. I think the Chiefs actually put up a good amount of points because, like you said, Travis isn't playing well. I think he gets out of that. And I predict a big game for Rashid Rice. Man, try to say that 5 times fast.
Rashid Rice. Get at me.
Yeah, I think you just messed that all up, Jake.
You always slurred him a little bit. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
But yeah, give me the Chiefs not to cover and the over.
All right.
Justin Watson looking like a DFS player this week.
Fun fact, in the Iron Bowl, Auburn is beating Alabama right now.
That is a fun fact.
That's insane.
Next game, we have the Buffalo Bills at 6-5 visiting the Philadelphia Eagles at 9-1. The Eagles are favored by 3.5 points. The over/under is 48.5. I get first pick on this one. I got the Niners next week, and then the Cowboys. I don't know, man. The Eagles just keep winning. The Eagles just keep winning. They do it gritty. They've won their last 7 games after trailing by 10 points. They just find ways to win. Now, granted, last week the Chiefs found a way to lose, but the Eagles still had to do their part on offense. I'm going to go the Eagles. I'm going to take them for the game. I'll take them to cover. And I got the under here. Two pretty good defenses. Josh Allen is probably going to throw for 350 plus yards and 3 touchdowns. I just think Jalen Hurts, either with his legs or his arm, beats it. So it's a shootout. But only by 24-21 is what I got. Yeah.
Did you just say
points.
the under?
I did. 24-21. Yeah.
But you said Josh Allen's going to throw for 350 yards.
I did, and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, right. I'm so lost.
I gave you what I get. 350, 3 touchdowns, but the Eagles' rushing defense keeps their ground game out of the end zone. The Eagles win 24-21. It's 44 points.
That's a bold take.
Yeah, that means I have them not to cover. Then that's what that means.
Well, considering you said that I was about to say you said you had them not to cover. Yeah,
that was my mistake. It's the Eagles not to cover and the under. Jakey Poo.
I have the Bills to make this game close, but I'm taking the Eagles as well not to cover, and I have this going over. Like you said, I do think Josh Allen's going to throw for 350 yards, but I think there's going to be more than 3 touchdowns scored on that. They do have a pretty good rushing attack when they want to use it. They fired their offensive coordinator. So give me the Eagles to not cover and the over.
Timmy takes the Eagles to cover and the over, and Ryan takes.
I'm going to copy and paste Jake's answer, but truthfully, if this game was in Buffalo, I would pick the Bills. Jalen Hurts has beaten 13 straight teams above 500, which is the longest winning streak against teams above 500 in 75 years. So until they lose a game, I'm going to pick them to beat everybody that's above 500.
That's actually impressive.
That's extremely impressive.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. They
There
win.
you have it.
They win ugly games. You go back, you look at Eagles games. None of them are pretty, but that's the way good teams versus good teams usually are. And the Eagles are well practiced at winning ugly games.
Yeah, something I heard earlier in the week is that the Eagles find ways to make the other team play at whatever level they're playing at. So if they're not playing well, they make the other team not play well. I don't know how it happens. I don't know how they do it. Kudos to them. 9-1. The Browns at 7-3, visiting the Broncos at 5-5. 1.5 point favorites are the Broncos. Over under is 36.5 points. And Jake gets first pick.
Oh man, I'm so curious to hear this.
Oh man, this one hurts me. I'm taking the Browns to win this game.
Really?
I
Good
think their
man.
rushing attack
Smart
is just
man.
nasty, and I don't think Denver can stop the run. So I got the Browns to win this, and I think it's gonna be a low-scoring game. I just think the Browns' defense is too much for the Broncos' mediocre offense, and Denver's defense has looked really good in the passing game, but the Browns are just going to run the ball with their backup quarterback. So Browns in the under.
Under. Okay. I wanted you to confirm the under. I didn't want to just put it in there for you. Timmy
you're
takes
good,
the
Mama.
Broncos to cover and the over. Ryan?
God, I hope so. Timmy, I hope you're
I will
so
take
right now.
The Broncos. I'll take the Broncos to cover. Or, I'll take the Broncos not to cover. That's clearly a hedge bet because 1.5 is not real spread. But, man, that over-under is such a good number.
Mm-hmm.
I will take the under. I will take the under as well. I'm not, entirely sold on Dorian Thompson-Robinson. The Denver run defense has looked better-ish in the last month. They're only allowing 6 yards per carry to running backs, which, I mean, compared to what they were doing before isn't bad, I guess. But, yeah, I think that Denver's kind of on a roll right now. They're going into Mile High, and if it even still is called Mile High, I think it's still called Mile High.
That's
they're
what we
just hot
call
right
it, but
now.
that's not the
Hot teams
name
do
of
hot
it.
Yeah.
It's not called Sports Authority Field at Mile High anymore.
No, it has some some energy company paid for the name.
Stupid.
I'll get you the answer to that.
I also am taking the Broncos not to cover and the under. I don't think it'll be a high-scoring affair. However, the Broncos have won 4 straight games. That's worth mentioning. I realize how good the Browns' defense is, but if they can't move the football effectively, consistently, the Broncos have an opportunity to win this game in a very close score. Again, I'm looking at even if the Broncos don't score a touchdown, 12-10, like 13, like something 15-10, something like that is the kind of game I'm looking at here. But give me the Broncos at home in Mile High, not to cover, hedging my bet there, and the under.
It's called Empower Field at Mile High. So technically still Mile High, but different name.
Did you guys know that Heinz Field is no longer called Heinz Field?
What's it called?
I have no
I
idea,
didn't
but they changed the name last year.
I did not know that. All right,
That's
Ryan
stupid. That's
Ryan
dumb.
gets the first.
Like everybody knows it's Heinz Field.
Yeah, that's one you shouldn't change. Yeah, it's called. I mean, I should have known this because I was just there.
What's it called?
Acrisure Stadium.
AccuSure. Okay, perfect. Next game, Ravens at 8-3, Chargers at 4-6. 3.5 point favorites are the Ravens. Over under is 48.5. Ryan gets first pick.
Ravens are a better team. Chargers will find a way to lose. It'll be a 1-score game, so I'm going to take the Ravens not to cover, and I'm taking the over.
I'm going to go with the Ravens not to cover and the under on this one. pretty much strictly just to be different than Ryan, because I also see it as going over. I probably change that one tomorrow morning. But the Ravens have won some shootouts. They've won some close games. The Chargers have lost all of those type of games. Doesn't matter. I think we can agree that Staley will likely not be the manager of the Chargers next season. And
He also won't be the coach.
I said
God,
manager. That's
one
my
can-
bad. Coach.
One could only hope, but
Do you really hope, though? Because if the Chargers come on super strong next year with a new coach, puts Denver down, right?
look, I just want them to keep him for this year since Denver, for the first time since I can remember, is in the playoff hunt.
In week 12.
Yeah, if they want to keep him around, I'm about it. We play the Chargers twice in the next, 8 weeks? So
All right, Jake, you're up.
give me, I mean, Ryan said it perfectly. Ravens are the better team. Chargers are going to Charger. So with that being said, give me the Chargers to win this game. And give me the over.
Cover or no cover?
Chargers are underdogs.
I know, and you took the Ravens.
I said Chargers.
You said Chargers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in such denial that I didn't even hear it. Chargers in the over.
Chargers in the over.
You said Ravens
just
are the better
because,
team and
you know-
Chargers are going to Charger, and you still picked them?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why I was
because
confused.
I'm going against all my thought processes because I have been so wrong lately.
You really have.
That's true.
And the Chargers are good enough
You saw
to
the
beat the
text I
Ravens.
sent out. What was it, last week? Right, everybody's record since week 5? Terrible. You're egregious.
Yeah. We got one more. We got the Bears on Monday night at 3-8, visiting the Vikings at 6-5. Vikings are 3.5-point favorites. Over under is 43.5 points. I get first pick on this one. I think it is not a surprise to anybody that I'm going to take the Vikings, the Josh Dobbs led Vikings. They seem a little rejuvenated. I know they lost last week, but they seem a little rejuvenated with Josh Dobbs there. So yeah, give me the Vikings. I'm going to take them, hedge my bet a little bit, not to cover. It is a divisional game, and I'm going to take the over in this game. Jake?
What is Timmy talking about in the chat?
Oh, I
Um,
remember. I know what he's talking about. He's talking about how Bill used to kind of lead us in one direction and always pick the other team.
I did that a bunch last year.
It's good entertainment. Good entertainment.
Man, Timmy, you're a hater right now, buddy.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
the crazy thing is, if he wanted to be talking this much, he could have just joined.
He could have. I miss his face. I haven't seen it in so long.
He said he's feeding his son, which is incredible that Jake is on the show and being fed at the same time.
Ba-dum-ksh.
So bad. That's so bad. But give me the Vikings here. Like you said, Vikings just lost a game they should have won. And the Bears are the Bears. And the Bears are going to bear. So
That
give me
doesn't
the
mean that you're
Vikings.
taking the Vikings, apparently. So you're gonna have to tell
I
me.
don't think they cover, though.
Yeah.
You do.
I do not think they cover. So give me the Vikings not to cover and give me the over. I'm
Timmy
gonna have
took the
to go on my
Vikings to cover
computer
and the
look at
over?
my picks.
And Ryan, you're up.
I'm taking the Vikings too. I'm concerned that spread is as low as it is, so I'm going to take them not to cover because Vegas knows something I don't. Probably has something to do with Justin Jefferson not playing, although he's listed as questionable now. I'm still not putting him in my fantasy lineups because he plays on Monday night. So Vikings, no cover. I'll take the over too. The Bears defense isn't great. The Vikings defense isn't great. I think both these offenses will be able to move the football without any resistance on Monday night.
I can agree with that.
Sounds good. Timmy says he had Lucas tonight. Maybe next week he'll attempt to get on with us. True Six King, you were very commentative. We appreciate that as well. For anybody who's watching, hopefully you're all on YouTube. If you could please hit that subscribe button, like button, share it with your friends. We super, super, super appreciate it. Thank you, as always, to Orphan Rivers for the intro music. If you have not had a chance to check him out, he's my cousin by marriage. And he's on Bandcamp. His name is Scotto Orphan Rivers. So please go check him out over there. Unless you guys have something else, I think that'll do it for us.
I do. One thing.
Okay.
I'm not shaving this mustache until Denver loses.
I hope they lose this week because you look creepy. You do not look
that
like
hurts.
somebody. You do not look like somebody I'd want around anybody I know.
Only hurts a little bit.
Yeah, stay away from any children that I may own, please. Thank you.
Yes,
Or
yes,
any
yes.
children at all.
Which means stay away from Timmy.
Fair enough. I'll stay
Fair
away.
Yeah, stay away from Timmy.
All right, yeah. So that's going to do it for us here on BSing Sports, part of the BSing Network, where we do a little BS and we talk a whole lot of sports. Thank you and have a good night.